2.
Folks, if we go into 2020 with 4% unemployment, we go into 2020 with the trade deficit narrowed. We haven't talked about trade, but the trade deficit has narrowed. Wait and see the results of what Trump is doing. Trump has tightened the screws. Here's the thing. Do you realize in a year and a half, a little over 1 year, you really, let me just, it's amazing sometimes, okay? You're going to get so tired of winning, you're going to beg me, stop winning. Do you realize within a year of his presidency, okay, unemployment, job creation is through the roof. Regulations cut like you would not believe, okay? Tax reform for the American people. Tax reform for corporations, tax reform for small business within a year, little over a year, okay? All of this is getting done. Do you realize a little over a year, he may of what? Now I'm going to tell you something. You know, I say this jokingly. But if this guy keeps it up, he might make Mount Rushmore. Now, they might have to carve Stormy next to him with the triple Ds, but I don't, I'm not okay with, before he took office, the weather was a little stormy. Since he took office, maybe he's, cleaned up his act, all right? So anyhow, the point is, do you realize 24 years, he may accomplish. In a little over a year, he may solve the North Korean issue. And I have talked about that over and over on this show. He may solve that. They want to denuclearize. Not freeze the program, denuclearize. He wants a peace treaty. Sources are saying he wants a peace treaty. Sources are saying the little guy might like an embassy over there, an American embassy. This is coming from South Korea, all right? Kim is likely to raise the possibility of a peace treaty along with establishing diplomatic relations and nuclear disarmament during a meeting with the U.S. leader. This is South Korean newspapers that are saying, hey, he wants an embassy over there. Now I'm going to tell you something. He has tightened the same screws in the right way on trade. Don't get nervous on tariffs. Don't get nervous on aluminum and steel. Don't get nervous at all. He has tightened the screws on all of them. Look at every foreign policy disaster when he met with Trump went all over the world. He took the picture with the G10s and the G8s and the EUs and whatever. He went everywhere in the world in a year. He took all the pictures. You do realize in the world right now, the people that are the most upset is the European Union. Angela Merkel, she's upset with her bratwurst or whatever they're eating over there, okay? Seriously, that's who was upset. We're like not caring. You can go all day. Remember the lies on NATO? NATO is stronger than it's ever been. Stronger. Countries are paying their fair share. NATO. Well, we forgot about that? Oh my God, he's going to ruin NATO, our allies. We established this, weeks on end. The disaster in NATO. They're paying their fair share. The NATO Secretary General or whatever he is couldn't be happier. The countries are pouring their money in. The equipment's coming in. The guy's set. Or right? That was a disaster. Everything was a disaster. Now Kim's coming to the table. Boom. He wants to denuclearize. He wants a peace treaty. He wants an embassy. That's out there. We don't know. Not jumping the gun, but that's out there. Watch what happens on trade. Our trade deficit. What happens when the CEO of Ford comes out from a White House meeting and says, we have just exported more Fords made in the United States to foreign countries ever in the history of our business? What happens? What happens when some of our products start getting a fair look on the streets, okay, of foreign countries? What happens? Just wait and see. Foreign trade, North Korea, taxes, regulations. So every once in a while he calls somebody like Chuck Todd some bitch, you know? Who's hurt? Who cares? Stormy Daniels, we don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You know, I don't care. Liking it is one thing, but I don't care. All right, it is 9:35. I've gone past the time. I've got some more things I need to do today before we close, but it's time for... Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
So I know the weather, the time change, it upset you. I broadcast from the 16th floor. She works on the 13th floor because we have a building with 13 floors. We established that, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
You did that to us.
Huh?
You did that to us.
What is on your list today for Monday, March 12th that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, gosh. Okay. So, Arthur Brisbane of New York Times, the former New York Times editor.
Okay.
I'm going through this morning and reading on Daily Wire that he has a Obama peace doll that he carries around, I guess, in his man purse, in his merce. You have a merce. But...
Whoa. Wait a minute. So he has an Obama peace doll in his man purse, and what did you call it?
A merce.
A merce.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
And then you just accused me of having one?
I just called you out. Yours is more of a satchel.
Thank
like a
you. Thank you.
It's still kind of a merce.
Well, somebody said to me the other day, said, you don't go anywhere without your bag. I said, no, that's my bag.
Your merce.
Okay, my merce. But get on with the story, so...
Okay, so he carries it around and pulls it out and pets it when his times are hard. So this is a quote that the Daily Wire did with him is, it's easy to look at what's happening in Washington, D.C. and despair. And that's why I carry a little plastic Obama doll in my purse. I pull them out every time now and then to remind myself that the United States had a progressive African-American president until very recently. But you can take comfort where you can't find it in Donald Trump's America.
So a comfort doll.
America must be really slow this morning for this to even come out.
No, I think I like this.
You like it?
Yeah, I think I like this. I think I'm getting one.
You like it?
Yeah, I think there's something about this. We can create our own doll.
A Trump doll.
No.
Let's do a Dana Loesch doll.
Okay. Well,
I don't know if you should have a Dana Loesch doll.
I was just getting ready to say I probably shouldn't be seen with that.
Oh man.
Anything else on your list?
Yeah, we'll move on from the liberal trash. There is a post going around on social media that I want to reiterate from our opening discussion about the school walkout, and I'll read it to you. And actually, our Gilmer County Superintendent of Schools in LJ Shana Wilkes, she posted that. Well, she shared this as well. Instead of walking out on school on March 14th, encourage students to walk up to the kid who sits alone at lunch and invite him to sit with your group. walk up to the kid who sits quietly in the corner of the room and sit next to her, smile and say hi. Walk up to the kid who causes disturbances in class and ask how he is doing. Walk up to your teachers and thank them. Walk up to somebody who has different views than you and get to know them. You might be surprised of how much you have in common. Build on that foundation instead of casting stones. I challenge students to find 14 students and 3 adults to walk up to and say something nice in honor of those who died in Florida on the 14th of this is supposed to take February. But you can start practicing now. Walk up, not out.
Oh, I like that. That's Dr. Shannon Wilkes?
Yeah, well, she actually shared it, but I don't know who made the post. But
she's actually sharing it.
Yes.
Dr. Shannon Wilkes, Superintendent of Schools in Gilmer County, that she shared that post.
She did.
All right, that's great. I like that. You like that?
I liked it. And I want to make a friendly reminder to my 2 oldest. Walk out, you're going to walk into a butt whooping.
It's not what you said earlier, but we'll take it. You do know, just because now you're on camera.
Yeah, I took it down a notch.
Butt woman doesn't bring it down. Okay, they could hear you earlier, and they could tell it was your voice.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else?
No, that's all I got.
All right, before you run, can you put the picture of Pocahontas between us there?
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right, I'll tell you. This is Elizabeth Warren, folks, and she went on all the shows because she's claiming she's not running for president of the United States, okay? She's claiming she's not. She is running to regain her seat there, Pocahontas, in Massachusetts there, to try to win her Senate seat. But she is being asked because of, and let's make sure, I don't know the paper, but let's make sure you know it's not us, and it's not the Fox News. There is a paper in Boston, I forget the name of the paper, that has said she could put her native heritage to rest by taking a DNA test. Now, if memory serves me right, she was at, is it Harvard? And she was at Harvard, and she was considered a Native American professor. I forget what the official thing is called, and she used that to get her tenure or whatever. I forget the details, but she's not Native American. That's why Donald Trump's called her Pocahontas. She will not take the DNA test, Amanda.
Of course she won't.
No, she will not take the DNA test. She says she remembers the stories that her mom and dad told her about growing up in Oklahoma, and that's what she is going to stick with. She's going to stick with the stories of growing up in Oklahoma. Elizabeth Warren refuses DNA test to prove Native American heritage. Senator Elizabeth Warren batted down calls to take a DNA test to prove her Native American heritage in an interview that aired Sunday. I know who I am and never used it for anything, never got a benefit from it anywhere, Warren said of her ancestry on NBC's Meet the Press, okay? So Donald Trump has mocked her and called her Pocahontas for using that. And I forget exactly where it came from, that her heritage was used at Harvard. I think was used at Harvard. But that's all I have for now. Is that all you have there? And could you give your children that friendly? How old are the children?
One's about to be 10 and one's about to be 6.
Well, they're not going to do anything.
You'd be surprised. Especially the oldest. I'm not him though, but around his friends, they already talk about this stuff. And
No. I want to ask you seriously. You have one that's 6, but the one 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And they're already talking about this stuff.
Well, they hear about it from the older kids. And it's not even political to them. Most of the time, they're kids. They don't, they care, obviously, about you know, about the tragedy that happened, they would. But they hear, hey, walk out of school, get free, you know, of course they're all going to walk out. They're kids.
So
if you had an opportunity to walk out for a movement back in the day, wouldn't you just be like, oh, hey, let's go to Taco Bell? Like,
I never needed a special occasion not to show up for school or walk out. We should leave that alone now. I tell you what, here's the thing, okay? Take Pocahontas down. I'll tell you this little story, okay? So, I'm somewhere around the 10th grade.
Yeah.
And I go to this class for like 4 days, right?
Right.
And I realized I didn't like the class.
Yeah.
So I quit going. All right?
You can't do that.
Wait a minute. I quit going, right?
Uh-huh.
So then finally I got caught that I quit going because I was going to the class before and it was a big, you know, I was going to the class before it and the class after. I just didn't like this one. So I didn't go. So after a certain period of time, I will not give you the number of days, I got in trouble. I was told I had to go to class. So I went to class. The teacher thought I was a new student.
Oh my God.
That's a true story. Are you a new student? No, I was here the first 4 days. I just didn't like. I didn't. Where have you been? I didn't like your class.
Oh no.
I was told to be here. I wouldn't be here now. You could be sent to the office right now, young man. That's what I was going for.
Oh my God.
I'm just joking. Take me out of here. We got to wrap this show up. I got 15 minutes. I got a couple things to do. Thank you very much, Amanda. That's the 14th. Walk out of class, and I know one mama that says you're going to be walking into a butt whooping. All right, a couple things. The president is tweeting out this morning. Before we leave, his attorney is trying to stop the Stormy Daniels interview on 60 Minutes. That's what sources say from The Hill. President Trump's lawyers are looking at options to stop CBS 60 Minutes from airing an interview with adult film star Stormy Daniels, who allegedly had an affair with Trump in 2006. It was 2006. It's 2018. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right. I have a question for you, Amanda. Do you care?
No.
All right, I'm deferring. Okay, so CNN is so desperate. CNN, this is a true story. Desperate CNN sends reporter to cover Stormy Daniels' strip club performance. CNN is so heavily invested in former adult star Stormy Daniels' story about sleeping with President Trump and then inking a $130,000 deal with his personal attorney that they sent some of their top, not low level, top reporters to cover Daniels' strip club. I mean, if you get sent on an assignment like that, do you get a stack of ones? Daniels doesn't strip often, CNN reported breathlessly on Saturday, but when she does, it's a special occasion. Holy smokes. So CNN went down there. Now, they're looking at campaign finance. Do you not think it's interesting that they're looking at campaign finance of Cohen and put up Cohen and Stormy Daniels? So did I send you that picture or did I not? This is Donald Trump's attorney, okay, Cohen. All right, probably a nice Jewish fellow, right? And Stormy Daniels, all right? So anyhow, supposedly he paid her $130,000. Well, did Donald Trump report, and this was only days before the election, supposedly, did Donald Trump report his $130,000 as a in-kind campaign contribution, or did Donald Trump reimburse him, or did Donald Trump's campaign? Look, you keep an attorney on retainer. These attorneys got accounts. I mean, let me ask you a question, Amanda. I did not use the show for this, right?
Right.
So the DNC, right?
Right.
All right. So you got a porn star. You got this You got this hoochie here, or floozy.
Yeah, we call him a floozy around
All right,
here.
you got this floozy with triple D's. I mean, my God, that's dancing and stripping, right? And supposedly, stay with me here. I mean, I always do this at the end of the show. I should have done this at the beginning, but maybe you should clip this a little bit and put it up with the picture. The concern is that Donald Trump's attorney paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 to keep her damn mouth shut, and she couldn't keep her mouth shut, right?
Right.
So what they're saying is Donald Trump paid him back the $130,000, but he paid out the $130,000. And they're talking about campaign finance reform, finance laws that may have been broken. But yet the DNC, we know for a fact the DNC in Hillary Clinton's campaign used a law firm, he's a lawyer, used a law firm to funnel money to pay Michael Steele for the Trump dossier, right?
Right.
I mean, doesn't it just blow your mind that the media is more interested, CNN is following this piece of garbage around? That's not nice. I know that's not nice. She could like clean up her act today. But do you understand what I'm saying? They're following this around for $130,000. And what did Steele get? 10 million or how much? Something like that? But through a law firm, Hillary Clinton and the DNC funneled money so the law firm could pay Steele for the dossier that was used at the FISA court, and they lied to the judges of the FISA court, the FBI. It did not go into detail of where the funds came from that financed the dossier. But $130,000 girl that gave Donald Trump 2 lap dances. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. And who makes this woman credible when she can't even... Okay, it's not like he didn't even go through with the agreement, if there even was an agreement. Okay, there's a hush agreement that you get paid $130,000 for. She didn't hush, but still got paid. What makes you credible as a person anyway? Not only that, but I was about to say something else, but you're an adult film star. It's like that. It's just God. I'm just so exhausted from this.
All right. Well, Stormy, Donald Trump may have have his attorney with a very big retainer. This guy's got multiple accounts. This guy could have paid Stormy $130,000. He could have called Trump and said, "Hey, I need more money in your retainer account," and it never got switched over. But who's going to look into this? Okay, it's going to be nonstop. Take that down. I want to get this because I have 8 minutes. Lobbyist files sexual harassment in a suit against Senator David Schaefer. Put up Schaefer. Okay. Now, David Schaefer was the front runner. He's a senator. He is the Georgia Senate pro temp, and he wants to replace Casey Cagle as the lieutenant governor of Georgia. But he has 2 opponents, okay? Now, I'm asking a question, right, before you call your damn lawyers, okay? I'm asking a question, okay? Now, he's being opposed by a representative, House of Representatives, Representative Jeff Duncan. Put up Jeff Duncan's picture, okay? And I'm just going to tell you that Jeff Duncan has been to my office here. I've met Mr. Duncan. He sat right in my office. We spent an hour together. Then he's also being opposed by they're both former. Jeff Duncan and former state representative Rick Jeffers. Put up Jeffers, Rick Jeffers, okay? So one's a former state senator. He's a former state house representative. There's former Senator Rick Jeffers. They both resigned their offices to run for lieutenant governor, okay? And at 12:01, put Duncan back up. Jeff Duncan and Jeffers at 12:01, his opponents, okay? Leave him, and now go back to David Schaefer. Lobbyist files sexual harassment complaint against Senator David Schaefer. Allegations come as Duluth senator runs for lieutenant governor. Senator David Schaefer is fighting allegations that he sexually harassed a lobbyist for years, calling the accusations false and vowing to fight the claims against him. The lobbyist reportedly accused Schaefer, who is leading the leading Republican candidate in the lieutenant governor's race. Think about it. Is the leading candidate of harassing her in early 2002, according to Fox 5 I-Team. The lobbyist reportedly filed a complaint with the Secretary of the Senate Tuesday, the day after Schaefer qualified as candidate for lieutenant governor. Schaefer said the accusations were politically motivated and called his accuser a 15-minute attention-seeking wannabe who was trying to settle an old score, okay? The accuser is, has an attorney. He's got to go through an ethics investigation, but the accuser, the lobbyist, has an attorney, and the attorney happens to be Bruce Harvey. Okay, I did not find a picture. The lobbyist attorney is Bruce Harvey. Atlanta, Fox 5 told Fox 5 Atlanta that the accusation focused on the potential exchange of political influence for sexual favors, and called the alleged accusations just pure political thuggery. So there's an attorney in play, and he has to go through the ethics investigation, and now he will have to answer. So I'm just wondering, just put up Jeff Duncan, his picture. Let's go with that. There's Schaefer, who they're claiming he is the lead Republican. There's Jeff Duncan running against him, and go with Jeffers. Okay. Now I have three, and I can't confirm anything. You understand? I'm going to be very clear. I have three different conversations, can't confirm anything, that may feel one of those candidates right there may have been aware this was going to happen. Let's just say aware this was going to happen. So looks like some politics of going on over there for the lieutenant governor's race. Also, don't forget, folks, your NCAA bracket. Do me a favor, go fill out your bracket so we can have a lot of fun in the next 3 weeks with college basketball. Go fill out your bracket. Is there anything you think I forgot?
No, I think it's time for a nap.
Okay, I'll leave with this great quote right here. I just pulled up. Don't let people push you around unless you're in a wagon. Okay? Tomorrow.
I saw that.
Huh? Did you see that?
I saw that.
Let's go with the president's tweets. We have a minute. President Donald Trump has been tweeting out this morning. We will close with his tweets. First, an hour ago, Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross will be speaking with representatives of the European Union about eliminating large tariffs and barriers they use against the USA, not fair to our farmers and manufacturers. Interesting, huh? Very strong improvement. Here's another tweet 42 minutes ago. Very strong improvement and strengthening of background checks will be fully backed by the White House legislation moving forward. Bump stocks will soon be out. Highly trained expert teachers will be allowed to conceal carry, subject to state law. Armed guards are okay deterrent. All right. 42 minutes ago. Let's go with one more. The last one. Only on 18 to 20-year age limits. Watching court cases and ruling before acting. States are making this decision. Things are moving rapidly on this, but not much political support, to put it mildly. I want to say something. For those of you that say that Donald Trump cannot make a decision, or he puts all this stuff out here and he doesn't follow through, how about the possibility that Trump respects? How about the possibility that Trump respects state rights? Because if you've been following this show very long, you know your host, BKP, I'm a state rights guy. You know what, Amanda? That son of a bitch could have said hello to me Saturday. He could have.
We'll talk about it. Let's get the love.
It just bothered me. Let me see if I forgot any pictures. We got the Trump Keep America Great. We got Stormy. Okay, we looked at that. We looked at that. We looked at that. We did all the Bobby Hurley, sleepy-eyed Chuck Todd. I think we're done. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's Only Live. Before we go, we're scheduling today. We're starting to work to schedule the 9 to 10 o'clock hour for local candidates. Start talking to local candidates, getting busy with local elections around here. Take us out of here, Amanda.